World of changing rhythms and melodies. There is a timeless sound that continues to inspire and uplift. Join us as we rediscover the beauty and power of traditional Christian hymns. We will explore their history, share inspiring stories, and feature heartfelt performances that will touch your soul. Welcome to Roots of Worship. Roots of Worship is a celebration of the enduring legacy of Christian hymns, a journey back to the roots of Christian music. Join us as we lift our voices in worship and praise and rediscover the music that has shaped the faith of generations. In 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 26, the Bible tells us of the story of the Shunammite woman who was very rich, yet had no child. So one day, Elisha, the prophet of God, came around, and in her habitual nature, she offered the servant of God a room in her house where she thinks that the servant of God can use from where he can do his missionary work. And discovering that she had no child in spite of her wealth, Elisha prayed for her and she bore a son. After a few years, the son died. And when the son died, rather than cry for help and shout and make noise all over the place, she quietly put the child in the room that Elisha, the servant of God, stayed while he was doing his missionary work in the area. And then she decided she was going to see the servant of God to tell her what has just happened. So as she steps out, she saw the husband. And the husband asked, "Where are you going?" She said she was going to see the servant of God. And the husband inquired, "It's not the new moon yet, neither is it Sabbath day. So why do you want to go and see the servant of God?" Rather than explain what has happened, she said, "It is well." And then she left. And when she got to where Elisha was, the same question was put to her by Gehazi, Elisha's servant. And in her usual response, she said, "It is well." It was when she got to the place of Elisha that she narrated what had happened. And the rest is history, because she came back home happy. A similar story is what we want to explore today in Roots of Worship for this week. In this week's edition, we'll be looking at the song, "It Is Well With My Soul." "It Is Well With My Soul" was composed by Horatio Spafford in 1873. The song was composed after a series of personal tragedies. Horatio Spafford was a successful lawyer and a devout Christian who endured a series of heartbreaking losses. Number one, in 1871, the Great Chicago Fire destroyed much of his wealth. And followed by that, his young son died of illness. As if that was not enough, he lost 4 of his daughters in a shipwreck. Only his wife survived the shipwreck. So in trying to inform the husband, Spafford's wife just wrote, simply, "saved alone," meaning she was the only one that survived the shipwreck out of all the family members that were in the ship. So Horatio decided to go and visit his wife. On this journey to reunite with his grieving wife, Spafford crossed the very waters where his daughters had perished. And looking at the waters, and moved by overwhelming grief, yet with his unshaken faith in God, he wrote the song, "It Is Well With My Soul." We will listen to a presentation of that hymn by the Tabernacle Choir in Temple Square. And when we are done listening, we will come back, talk a little more before we call it an evening. Don't go anywhere. Stick around, enjoy the song with me, and we'll talk later. Welcome back. Now, the lyrics of the hymn reflects his trust in God's sovereignty and peace amidst suffering. And I want to think that this hymn should inspire believers and reminding them as well that God's peace surpasses understanding and that his presence sustains Christians even in the darkest hour. Sometimes it looks as if the world is closing down on us, as if God does not exist anymore. Sometimes series of tragedies happen. You praise as if you're not praying. You fast as if you're not fasting. You do all that you think you have the ability to do as instructed by the Bible or as our ministers, our pastors, our leaders would encourage us to do. Yet, it's tragedies upon tragedies upon tragedies. But one thing, though, that is very sure, because as the Bible said, that if you pass through water, you will not be drowned. If you pass through fire, he will be there with you. In spite of all this, one thing is clear. God remains God. And I'm sure that is what Spafford thought about when he said, "It is well." What God has prepared for you is much more than these things that are being destroyed. Take an example from Job. By the time God compensated him, he had much more than were destroyed. It's a tough one though, but I can tell you, the peace that God gives cannot be measured. We just need to understand and wait on him. And so I pray for you this evening that in your journey of life, when the unexpected happens, I ask God to give you the courage to stand firm in him and say, "It is well with my soul." Because that is the only thing that we can do in such circumstances. Because God knows much better than we do. So it's on that note I want to say, whatever comes your way, don't blame God. Don't complain. Just tell yourself, "It is well with my soul." And God will give you the power, the courage to go through. And so long as there is life, better days are ahead. So, I want to call it tonight, and I hope that you have enjoyed today's edition, and I hope you take some things home to hold you tight in the days of adversity. Take care of yourself. See you next week. Bye-bye, and God bless you.